This is a presentation about the effects of exercise on the stress levels of college students. First of all, I just wanted to explain how does exercise relate to stress. So I looked up a couple of studies as well as just some Google searches and found that it relates to stress quite a bit. So here are just some quotes that I've gathered for that. Physical activity bumps up the production of your brain's feel-good neurotransmitters called endorphins. And this is what's referred to as like a runner's high, or when you get like that really good feeling when you're on a hike. Basically, the research has reaffirmed that people who are more active demonstrate lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression because of these endorphins and because of the physical and chemical reactions that the brain and the body have to do with exercise. So, regular exercise can increase self-confidence, it can relax you, it can lower symptoms associated with mild depression and anxiety, and exercise can also improve your sleep, which is disrupted by stress, depression, and anxiety. All of these exercise benefits can ease your stress levels and give you a sense of command over your body and your life. And what scientists are saying generally is that it improves your mood and self-confidence. As soon as you start exercising, your brain cells will actually start functioning at a higher level, which gets a lot of different neurotransmitters going and creates a response. And it can also increase your energy levels through physical health. So I've done a lot of digging within research, and I've found numerous studies that associate exercise with improved psychological well-being, health, and life satisfaction. The three main things that it does for you when you exercise is reduce stress, which means, like I kind of already mentioned this before, but basically it's been well documented as an effective means of reducing stress and anxiety. It improves mental health along with that. So stress is kind of put into that category as well, but it also helps other areas of mental health like focus and concentration and basically thinking more effectively. And it also improves physical health for pretty obvious reasons. There is a linear relationship between physical activity and health status. And it decreases the risk for many, many diseases and problems that can happen down the road. So, as for the main point of this presentation, why does this affect college students? There isn't as much research on this as I had hoped, but there is numerous studies, and basically, according to this quote here, stress experienced by millennial college students can be crippling. While stress is a universal and unavoidable phenomenon for college students, the variance in ability to handle stress can be attributed to stress tolerance. So a lot of the stress that's going on within college students leads to them trying to find coping mechanisms. And another article explained that if students are more physically active, this is going to have a bigger impact on mental health and stress. However, there are still many college students who do not meet the recommendations for physical activity, and this is an area of concern. So, while exploring these coping mechanisms, many students aren't focusing on exercise as a coping mechanism, which is a really big flaw because it can help so much. And it's really becoming concerning for the millennial generation. So, like I said, many studies have been done that I found, not compared to exercise in general, but for the specific college population, there have been various studies done. And one of them showed that college students who exercise vigorously for 20 minutes, at least 3 days a week, were less likely to report poor mental health and perceived stress. And that's according to the American Journal of Promotion. Additionally, it is mentioned that it's important to remember to employ additional protective mechanisms. Specifically, people need to be not just like doing very non-vigorous types of exercise, but they need to be doing vigorous physical activity as well as stretching and strength training to really get those benefits of exercise with stress. And there's a great importance of the variety all coming together with that. So college students need to be using a variety of physical activity in order to effectively reduce stress. Okay, so this is the next part of my presentation. I actually worked out for a month consistently with a partner, and I observed him over this month period to see like what changes I could see. So this is Landon. He's a senior college student in psychology, and he used to have some really high levels of stress. He's, like I said, he's a senior, so a lot of stuff going on with grad school and everything, and began exercising with me 1 month ago. So far, exercise has seriously changed his life. He's dropped 4% of his body fat and feels stronger and more confident than ever before. And he's mentioned that his stress levels have improved significantly. And also, not only he's noticed this, but I've noticed the change in him. I just feel like he's a lot more calm and collected about things. And I've seen a huge impact on his health from this. So this is just a quote from Landon explaining kind of what he's learned over the past month. He says, "When I don't exercise, I feel like I can eat whatever I want because I'm not intentionally taking care of myself. Now I'm not only more aware of my well-being, but more proud of it. It's given me something to focus on and find happiness and solace in." And that's a picture. We went on a hike together at Arches National Park, and that was one of the exercise outings that we went on. And so it's been really cool to see him improve and see him take care of himself and learn how much better he feels because of exercise and how his stress levels have been affected significantly. So then there's my story. So just a little background. Growing up, my family wasn't very physically active and we didn't have a very good diet. So I was a little chubby in my teenage years, and my friend actually convinced me to join a conditioning class with her where we did regular interval training and weightlifting, and it changed my life. I lost so much weight. I became so much more confident and focused, and I felt stronger both mentally and physically, and it was amazing to see the transformation that I went through. After that, I went to college, and college, it was very stressful for me at first, and I actually stopped exercising, which I highly do not recommend. And I actually developed mild depression and anxiety and gained a lot of weight, and it became a problem. But I've gone through ups and downs of exercise. I haven't really been consistent until I started this project last month. And I have exercised at least 3 to 4 times a week, and it has improved my stress significantly. I feel much less anxious. I feel much less depressed. And it's been amazing to see the change that's gone on with myself. So basically, I've just made it kind of a simple habit. And then there's just a quote from me that says, "I can tell the difference in my stress levels when I'm exercising regularly. I'm much more calm and focused about things." So it's really been a life changer for me to go through that. So what I've learned firsthand is that exercise is everything when it comes to your physical and mental health. When I exercise, I feel so much better. I always tell my friends, like my friends can usually tell if I've exercised that morning or not, because they can just tell that I'm a lot more calm and focused. And I always say I'm a better person for having exercised this morning, because it's so true. And I've seen it happen to others, not only in Landon, but as I've seen some friends and family start to exercise, I've seen the benefits in them as well. And you can definitely tell the difference. Like, I'm not just saying that. You can seriously see the change in their lives and them wanting to be so much better and so much more motivated to get things done and do great things. And not only from my experience, but the research is very clear and very extensive that exercise does have a serious impact on stress and mental health in general. And there are so many studies to show this. I've only included just the very tip of the iceberg. So it's been really cool to see all of this happening and learn and grow from this experience. So that's what I've learned about how exercise affects the stress levels of college students.